Alright guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we'll be talking about filters and effects. Filters can dramatically change the appearance of your image, while effects can add creative flair. Now in this lesson we will cover applying filters, using the filter gallery, and creating creative effects with filters. Alright, let's get into it. So in the first part of this video, we'll be talking about applying filters. So the first thing you need to understand is how to apply the filters. Before then, what are filters? Filters are basically predefined effects that alter the appearance of an image. And there are different categories of filters. There is blur, sharpen, distort, noise, render, and the list continues, right? So let's talk about filter. So I've imported this image, right, for our testing. So the first thing you have to do is to select the layer you want to apply the filter. And of course, the layer must be active right here. So make sure it is not turned off for this to work. Then the next thing is how to access the filters. Where are they found on Photoshop? So go to filter on the top menu and choose from the available category. So this is right here. So there are different categories. There is blur, there is blur gallery, distort, noise, and what have you. So you can choose any one that you want and you begin to apply it. And there are common filters that we'll look at. For instance, there is the Gaussian blur. This smoothens the image by blurring it. So let's have this now. If we go to filter and we go to blur and we go to Gaussian blur, you look at what it does to the image. And this is applied only to this particular image that I'm hovering on. You can of course adjust it here, reducing the blurriness or increasing it. This is one of the blurs you will use the most on Photoshop. I'm just going to cancel it because I don't want to use it for anything now. Then the next thing is on sharpen mask. This enhances sharpness by increasing contrast along edges. So let's go to filter and sharpen. Then on sharpen mask, you can begin to increase this, right? You can see the image is becoming sharper and sharper. So it marks out the edges of the image and they add some kind of contrast to it, right? You can increase the threshold or reduce it and all of that. So you can play around with these. These are some of the most popular filters that we have. But there is one more. There is liquify. The liquify distorts specific areas of the image for creative manipulation. So it kind of distorts some areas of the image. So if you go to filter and you come down here, you can find liquify, or you can use Shift Control X to apply it. So it brings up this box. You can begin to play around with stuff here and what have you. You can adjust the density to see the effect it has. After you're done, you can drag around to adjust the image to get the effect that you want. So that's basically how the liquify works. I'm just going to cancel that. Then there is one more I'm going to show you, that is noise. This adds or reduces noise in the image. So as you can see, this image is quite clear, right? So let's try and add some noise to it. Go to filter and go to noise, right? There are different kinds of noise, but we're just going to say add noise. As you can see, the image kind of looks a bit noisy. So you just increase the amount to increase the noise and reduce the amount to reduce the noise. So this is basically what you find in filters. Now, how do we now use the filters in such a way it is not destructive? Because if you apply one of these filters on a particular image, you've lost the original, right? How can you apply the filter so that it doesn't scatter the image? One thing you can do is to convert this image into a smart object. So convert to smart object. This way, when I apply a filter like let's say Gaussian blur, for instance, and I press OK, you notice that there is this little icon here, which means we can edit the effect. So I can come back to blur and reduce it, or even remove it entirely if I don't want it to be there anymore. So I can as well delete this smart filter, right? So that is one way to apply it non-destructively. Okay, there are many other ways. So I'm just going to undo what I've done and then get into it. Now, there are some best practices you might want to start imbibing as you want to start using filters. First of all, like I just did now, always use filters on smart objects. If you're not going to use filters on smart object, make sure to duplicate the image and hide the one underneath it. That way you can come back again, right, to your the original image. So apply filters on smart objects. This guarantees flexibility. Then secondly, adjust filter settings. So tweak the parameters to achieve the desired effect. Don't just apply the filter directly. You might not get what you want. So for instance, in the case of let me just still use Gaussian blur. For the case of Gaussian blur, you can, these are the parameters. It has radius and all of that. That's the only parameter. But there are some other effects like liquify that has much more effects. So you can touch everything here as what they do. If I begin to go through each and every one of these things, it's going to take forever for us to finish this video, right? So maybe if need be, if you want me to do that, you can drop a request right in the comment section, and I'm going to create a video dedicated to this liquify function right here. So make sure you adjust this to create the effect you want. This is just quite basic, right? But we can make this thing into what we actually want. Then number 3 practice you must imbibe is combine filters. So you can layer multiple filters for complex effects. You can add noise, you can add all these filters on one image. So you can add a blur, right, and you can add an unsharpened edges. So add as much effect as you need. I can even add one more best practice to this before we go into the next section of this video. That would be, don't make your filters too much. Just apply the one that you need. So if you need a blur, try to create realism, right? Try to create realism. So let's say I have a product right on this table right here, and I want to blur the background. I want to create a camera effect on it. I can select this image, right, and blur out this background. Now, in blurring out the background, I don't have to blur it too much so that it begins to look stupid, right? So what would I do? I will apply a reasonable blur effect that will look realistic, and of course with a feather around this. Maybe as time goes on, we'll drop a tutorial on that. But if you want me to do it as soon as possible, you can easily drop a comment, and I'm going to create a tutorial on how to create a real camera effect, right? A camera blur effect using Gaussian blur. By the way, if you've not liked this video or subscribed to this channel up till now, you can subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon to get notified when I post all these videos I'm talking about here. So the next session of this video will be how to use the filter gallery, because I want to talk about that one specifically. It's very important. First of all, what is the filter gallery? Filter gallery is a collection of filters organized into categories for creative effects. Let me tell you that again. It's a collection of filters, right, organized into categories for creative effect. So how do you get to that? So go to filter and you find filter gallery. So as we begin to go around it, you find different folders or categories. As you can see, there is the artistic category, there is the brush stroke, there is distort, there is sketch, there is stylize, and there is texture, right? So let's start with the artistic. If you open the artistic, you will find different styles that you can easily apply. For example, there is the watercolor. The watercolor, it simulates watercolor painting effect. Now, once you apply it, it's going to apply a watercolor painting effect on this image. So let's see. Just clicking it once, it adds it to it. So this image automatically looks like a watercolor painting. You can adjust this, right, to look the way you want. You can make it more detailed and all of that. So just do what you want. There are different effects you can find here. You can take your time and explore this stuff, right? So you can also do dry brush. So you can do dry brush. There is dry brush here where you, yes, up here. So this creates a dry brush painting effect. So this could be something you can do. Just take your time and play around all of these to see how it works. So the second one we have is the brush strokes. So there, I'm going to take two, for example, the angled strokes. So these angled strokes, of course, you're seeing what it does. It just adds a very beautiful artistic effect to your image. Don't forget, there are parameters here you can adjust to get what you want. The next is going to be the cross hatch. So let's try the cross hatch. Yeah, that is what it does. And then you can, of course, increase this or reduce this and all of that. Now, this is very amazing. You can play with your images with ease. Why filter gallery is very powerful is that normally to create this kind of effect, you would need to apply different multiple effects creatively and intentionally to create this effect. But now you're doing it just with the click of a button and just dragging and moving some notches, right? This is very, very powerful. So something else that is amazing about this filter gallery is that you can turn this on and off. On and off. Yeah. So that is that for that. So as we begin to add more effects, we can turn it on and off to see what it has. For example, we're going on to the next one, the distort effect. And I'm just going to try out the diffuse glow, right? See what it does. Of course, with the diffuse glow, you can reduce all of this, reduce the glow amount, right? So, and just add some kind of darkness in some of these places. That is what it does. So then there is the glass too. There is glass. You can create a glass effect on your image. So you can make it look more glassy as you begin to increase it like this. And then the smoothness, make it more smooth or less smooth. Now this looks more like it. Now this looks more like a glass right now. So this is beautiful. And you can scale it up or scale it down depending on the kind of glass you want to simulate. Then up next we have Sketch, right? So inside Sketch, you are going to find charcoal and you are going to find graphic pen. Let's check out charcoal and see what it looks like. Cool. Now this, I don't know how to explain it, but you're seeing what it does, right? So this is the charcoal effect in case you want to create anything like that. So you can reduce the details, right? Or increase it as the case may be. There is also the graphic pen. So the graphic pen is here. So you can see this is looking like graphic pen. That's all I can say, right? So then after Sketch, there is now texture. So you can come over to texture here. And under texture, I'm going to look at grain. So you can see I'm adding some kind of grainy effect on your image. So this is very powerful to use. Very powerful. You can increase the contrast of that or change the kind of grain you want and all of that until it looks good to you for the effect you are trying to create. Under texture also, texturizer. So texturizer now, you can increase the scale, add some kind of texture to your image. So like I said, play around with all of these things and see what you can come up with. There is also Stylize. You can check it out and see what you can create, something awesome that you can create with this stuff. What if you now want to apply filter from filter gallery? As simple as that. Once you are done with whatever we've done here, doing what you want, just press OK and it's going to be applied to it, right? Before we go to the next session, let me just drop some tips on how to use this very well. Like I've been saying it, but I want to specify them. First of all, you must learn how to experiment, right? Try different things. Don't just stay with one thing. Try different things. Try different filters and settings to discover unique effects. That is how we all use these things, right? That's how we all use these things. Secondly, you combine masks, right? Use layer masks to apply filters creatively. Combine different masks with layer different effects with layer mask. Thirdly, you can preserve original layers, right? Do well to preserve original layers by always using smart objects. I keep on emphasizing this, right? Either you duplicate your image or you use smart object layers to maintain flexibility. In the next step of this, which is going to be the final phase of this video, I'm going to look at creating effects with filters. So I'm going to combine some effects to create some kind of unique effect. So I'm going to press undo on what we've done so far. Let's apply one filter, or rather, let me just say Control Shift Z to redo what I've done, because what we want to do is to apply one filter and apply another one to create a layered effect. So notice now we have filter gallery here, right? So we can come over to filter here, come to filter gallery and enter here and add another effect on top of this. So let's say I want to add a spatter effect on it. Done this, change the smoothness and all that. So you see our effect is still there, but then we add another one on top of it. Okay, it's quite heavy, so you might not really be able to see what's going on, but see, now we've removed everything. As you begin to add it, you see it doesn't really remove the one underneath, it just adds a little more effect on it. So I can use this to create something like this. right? Just increase this number a bit, and we have this artistic looking image. After that, you can press OK. Secondly, we can use layer masks. We're going to use layer mask to select where we want our effects to be applied. Let's say in this case we have this mask, right? So you select the mask, press B on your keyboard and begin to wipe over a particular area. So you notice any area you wipe, you are removing the effect from those areas. So this effect is no longer applied on every part of the image, but only on the areas that we allow it to. So that gives you a lot more control over what you're doing. See, in this lesson, we have explored the vast world of filters and effects in Photoshop, learning how to apply basic effects, utilize the filter gallery for creative effect, and even combine filters to achieve unique and sophisticated results, right? So filters are powerful tools that can transform your images and add artistic flair to your project. So try out a lot of things. Make sure to try out these things, and I will be happy to see your results on the Tech Hive group. By the way, if you've not joined our community, I encourage you to join. Tech Hive is a community of tech creatives. I like to call us tech bees. So we are creative. It's a community of tech creatives that come together to help ourselves grow and get better. On Tech Hive, you are going to have different categories of people. You're going to have developers, graphic designers, video editors. Different people are there already. We have up to 100 persons in the community. We only want serious people. Please, if you are interested in joining Tech Hive, I'm going to leave the link in description for you, but please mind you, we really want serious people in the community. So please join the community if you want to grow and get better, no matter the level you are, whether you're a newbie in any skill, or you are an intermediate developer, designer, video editor, whatever skill you have, as long as it's a tech skill, or even if you are an advanced user, it is okay. You can either you are learning or you are helping someone, you are impacting someone. It's a healthy community for anyone that wants to do better in their creative work. So that brings us to the end of this video, and if you liked the value you got in this video, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post my next video. Don't also forget to like this video, and I'm going to see you in the next video.